Learning how to code from scratch will take a considerable amount of time, energy, and money, so it's crucial to determine if this job is a good fit for you upfront and not 6 months down the road. You see, one of the main reasons why a lot of self-taught programmers fail to become successful in this industry is because programming was never a good fit for them in the first place. This was not their dream career. This was not something they enjoyed doing. Like any career choice, software development is not suitable for everyone, and it's not a job that everyone wants to do. And that's perfectly fine. The problem arises when you figure this out later rather than sooner. Because after you invest so much into becoming a programmer, it is pretty difficult to admit it's not what you want to do and stop. And that's why you should not spend a single dollar or a single week learning how to code unless you know that a career in programming is a good fit for you. How do you know this? Well, let's find out. I broke this process down into three aspects: aspiration, motivation, and aptitudes. Let's take a closer look at each one of them. When I talk about aspiration, please think of all the reasons to become a developer or not. I talked about these earlier in the course. If you want more freedom in your life, more challenging jobs, better income, the ability to work from anywhere, and don't mind the frustration, stress, and loneliness that might come with this career, then I would say that you, from an aspirational perspective, will enjoy this career. You need to look at how it is like to be a coder and decide if this kind of job is attractive to you or not. Try to let your emotions run the show and dictate the answer. If you haven't done so already, rate your feelings on a 1 to 10 scale. 1 means that coding is not a good fit, 10 means that a career in IT will fit like a glove. Once you have the aspirational aspect figured out, let's move to motivation. To become successful in software development, you need to put the necessary effort. You will need to spend between 700 to 900 hours studying and practicing to have a solid IT background, land a good job, and keep evolving. That can take 9 months, 1 year and a half, or even more. Ideally, you should put in 10 to 13 hours of work every day. The second reason self-taught developers fail is that they lack the motivation to learn. Without motivation, you won't put in the hours, and without that consistent effort, you have few chances to change your career. I will repeat a question that I asked you earlier. Do you want this life-changing career enough that you are willing to put in the effort? Are you ready to spend 10 to 13 hours a week every week learning to become a great developer? Once you figure this out, rate your feelings on a 1 to 10 scale. 1 means that you don't have the motivation to do this over such a long period. 10 means that you'll put in the effort. The thought of constant work does not scare you because you know it is worth it. With aspiration and motivation out of the way, we can take a look at aptitudes. Aptitudes are a bit taboo. I'm a firm believer that our brains can learn anything. I don't believe in talent, I believe in hard work and a good plan. That being said, I did notice that all the programmers that I worked with, including myself, have a couple of common aptitudes. All programmers have sound logic and reasoning skills. They are masters of abstract thinking. They are good problem solvers, and most of them can pay attention to details. As I said, I don't think we were born with these skills. We probably acquired them in school and college. After all, we were nerds who enjoyed math, logic, and science classes. I created a test where you can evaluate these aptitudes for a career in programming. So, I will invite you all to take that test and see the outcome. In the end, you will receive a rating between 1 and 10. 1 means that you don't have the aptitudes needed for a career in IT, 10 means that you're a good problem solver and abstract thinker. Now, I want to make a short note here. I designed this test by leveraging my 7-year experience at interviews. It can evaluate someone's abstract thinking, reasoning skills, and logic with fair accuracy. However, it's not perfect by any means. If you feel that the final result does not accurately represent you, I highly encourage you to take more programming aptitude tests. You can find plenty of them online. And that way, you can have a broader picture and a more accurate result. Alright, the moment of truth. Is programming a promising career for you? I hope you evaluated your aspiration, motivation, and aptitudes. You should have a grade for each one of these aspects. I want you to sum these grades up and then divide them by 3. By doing this, you'll get an overall average rating. I would say that if you have an overall rating of at least 8 and no individual rating lower than 7, then yes, programming can be a good, fulfilling career for you. You want to get the benefits of this life-changing job. It's up to you to do the hard work and collect them. Now, while this process is pretty accurate to determine whether you should start learning to program or not, it's not perfect. So even if your ratings are a bit lower, but deep down inside you know that you want this career and you feel that you can spend those 700 to 900 hours studying, then don't let this stand in your way. The rating you got is not meant to discourage you. You know yourself better than anyone, and if your gut tells you to do it, then just do it.